Most feared torture devices of the medieval era. Welcome to the dark and gruesome world of the medieval era, a time when justice was brutal, and punishment was designed to inflict unimaginable pain. Today, we'll uncover the most feared torture devices that struck terror into the hearts of those who faced them. From the infamous Iron Maiden to the bone-crushing Judas Cradle, these tools were not just instruments of punishment but also symbols of power and control. Join us as we explore the chilling history behind these devices and the stories of those who suffered their wrath. The Iron Maiden, the Coffin of Death. One of the most infamous torture devices in history, the Iron Maiden, was a standing coffin lined with sharp spikes. The victim was locked inside, and as the doors closed, the spikes would pierce their body but carefully placed to avoid vital organs, ensuring a slow and agonizing death. Some historians debate whether the Iron Maiden was actually used or if it was just a legend of medieval cruelty, but its design alone is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. The rack, the body stretching nightmare. Next, we have the rack, a device designed to inflict excruciating pain by stretching the victim's body to its limits. The victim would be tied down, and their limbs would be slowly pulled in opposite directions by a system of ropes and pulleys. The result: dislocated joints, torn muscles, and, in some cases, the victim being literally pulled apart. The rack wasn't just a tool for punishment. It was also used to extract confessions. Many victims, unable to endure the pain, would confess to crimes they didn't commit, just to make the torment stop. The Pear of Anguish, a silent killer. A device as deceptive as it was horrifying, the Pear of Anguish was a metal contraption inserted into the victim's mouth, rectum, or other sensitive areas. Once inside, the executioner would turn a screw, causing the device to expand, tearing flesh and causing unbearable pain. It was often used to punish blasphemers, heretics, and women accused of witchcraft. A silent device that inflicted unspeakable agony. The Judas Cradle, death by impalement. One of the most horrifying devices on our list is the Judas Cradle. The victim would be suspended above a pyramid-shaped seat and then lowered onto its pointed tip. The weight of their body would cause the tip to pierce and stretch their most sensitive areas, leading to severe injury or death. This device was often used as a form of psychological torture, as the mere sight of it was enough to break many prisoners. The Judas Cradle is a grim reminder of the lengths to which torturers would go to extract information or punish their victims. The Breast Ripper, pain beyond imagination. One of the most brutal punishments reserved for women accused of adultery, witchcraft, or heresy was the breast ripper. This metal device, shaped like claws, was heated red hot and then used to tear into the flesh. For those who survived, the wounds were severe and often led to infection and death. It was a cruel reminder that medieval punishment did not differentiate between men and women when it came to brutality. The Spanish chair, the burning throne. Imagine being forced to sit on a chair covered in hundreds of sharp metal spikes. This was the Spanish chair. Victims were strapped down so tightly that even the slightest movement would drive the spikes deeper into their flesh. To increase suffering, some versions were heated with fire, turning the chair into a burning cage of pain. There was no escape, only endless suffering until death. The breaking wheel, bones shattered beyond repair. Finally, we have the breaking wheel, also known as the Catherine wheel. The victim would be tied to the wheel, and their limbs would be systematically broken with a hammer or iron bar. In some cases, the victim would be left on the wheel to die slowly, often exposed to the elements and scavenging animals. The breaking wheel was not only a method of execution, but also a public display of power, meant to deter others from committing crimes. It was a brutal reminder of the consequences of defying authority. The brazen bull, perhaps one of the most sadistic devices ever created, the brazen bull was a hollow bronze statue shaped like a bull. The victim would be placed inside, and a fire would be lit beneath it, slowly roasting. The medieval era was a time of unimaginable cruelty, where torture devices like these were used to instill fear and maintain control. While these tools are now relics of the past, they serve as a chilling reminder of humanity's capacity for both innovation and brutality. Lessons from a dark past. The Middle Ages were a time of violence and fear, where justice was often more about pain than fairness. Today, we look back in horror at these devices, but history teaches us an important lesson. Progress comes from learning from the past. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the dark side of history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating and terrifying stories from the past.